everyone, welcome back to Art a la Carte. In today's episode we're going to be drawing a dragon because I've gotten lots and lots of requests about how to draw dragons, and as you guys know, I actually have a load of videos on how to draw dragons, so I thought we would take a dragon and theme it. So right now I'm just doing a basic sketch out of my dragon, kind of just finding the basic shape and position. And if you want more detail on how to draw, like get the base set up, I have a really good video on how to do that. I'll put actually the whole playlist for my dragon videos in the description box below, so you can check those out. But I want to go ahead and just kind of design the basic position that I want for my dragon. The fun thing with dragons is there's no right or wrong way to draw a dragon, because the anatomy can be any kind of anatomy. So just have fun creating kind of your own basic shape. But now that we have the shape of our dragon down, and again, you'll see I'm drawing this really lightly, so that I can go over and erase it, bits and pieces and things like that. We want to add some interest to our dragon. Now, a lot of times this will happen to me when I want to draw something and you get, your artist block and you can't think, oh, what should I draw? Well, try to pick something and theme it. Try to do a theme. So that's what I was having a hard time. I knew I wanted to do a dragon picture, but I was like, I just wasn't coming up with any inspiration of like what type of dragon I wanted to do. So I decided to pick some sort of thing and theme my dragon to that. And so I decided to pick a gemstone and make this a gemstone dragon. And then again, I had a hard time deciding what gemstone to pick. Well, this is the month of February. It's actually at the very end of February, but the gemstone or birthstone of February is the amethyst, which is this beautiful purple stone. And so I decided that I wanted to do a little gemstone dragon. And so I really don't think that this guy is very big. I think he's one of those more little tiny itty bitty dragons, which for some reason just fascinates me. I mean, the big, powerful dragons are cool too, but I seem to find that I really enjoy drawing the tiny little dragons that, you might find hidden away. So what I did is I looked at several different photos of amethyst gemstones, so I came up with this really pretty kind of cut gemstone. So I thought it'd be really cool to put a dragon on top of that. So I'm gonna look at that picture there and kind of sketch in, kind of make this very geometrical shape. So lots of straight lines coming together. And that's also the fun part with gemstones, is there's so many different kinds of cuts. So as long as you kind of keep in mind a little bit of how a stone is cut, you can really have some fun with it. Don't forget to do like some overlapping. Kind of adds a lot of depth and dimension into your picture if you can get that, some things overlapping each other. And if you want kind of more of a step-by-step video on how to draw kind of gems and things like that, let me know in the comment section below. But really, I'm just making lines that kind of come together in little triangles, and each point has to kind of match up with each other. And again, looking at this photo, I'm not copying it exactly, but just kind of getting a little reference of how some of the stones are cut. This will actually come more into play when I get into actually coloring this. It will be a little bit more challenging. So there I've got the gemstone that my dragon's going to be sitting on or kind of guarding. It's his treasure, or maybe her treasure, I don't know. And now I want to do a really good overlapping because the dragon is kind of guarding it. I'm going to bring the dragon's wing. And again, I have some videos a little bit more on how to draw dragon wings. In fact, I have a whole sketch with me where I go through and sketch a whole bunch, so you can definitely check that video out. But I'm going to do the basic bat wing. So the wing comes out and then up and then overlaps with this fold. So I'm actually going to draw this overlap fold here. I'm going to bring it right over top of my dragon. So it kind of looks like it's guarding it. I don't want to cover up too much, but I do want to have this good overlap. And maybe a little bit of the wing hiding out behind there. This will also give me the ability to do some really good shadowing and be able to pop this wing forward and push this dragon back. It's going to get a lot of good depth. But we don't want to have just one wing, we need to have both wings. There we go. Alright, so now that I have the sketch of the wings, now it's time to go ahead and just add any of those little details in here. So trying to decide kind of, you know, anything special I want with the face or the eyes. I'm going to put a little gemstone right on her forehead. And maybe like just whatever kind of detail that you want. Put a little ridge of kind of spines or spikes on her back. Now that you have the sketch in, you get to decide what do you want to do with this picture. Are you going to just leave it like this? Going to add some shading in with your pencil, ink it in, color it, paint it. What are you going to do? I'm going to go ahead and put in some Copic markers with it. First I'm going to clean up just a little bit of the kind of the building up lines that I don't need, just so it's a little tidy. I kind of want to keep the sketchy look. Oh, these bugs. I've got like a serious gnat infestation. There's like gnats everywhere. It's so gross. Okay, so I have, let's see if I can do it with these markers. I think these are the ones I'm going to be using. So hold them up there for you if you want to follow along. You can kind of still pause that and see which markers those are. So I get lots of people asking me what markers I use. Mostly going to be using these. Alright, so what I want to first do is lay in my, I think I'll work on the gemstone first. So I'm going to lay in some lighter tones. I'm actually going to start off with my R81. So the paper I'm using is just a regular Bristol, like a cardstock Bristol paper. And generally, my Copics don't mind it if it's a little bit rougher than, say, like the Express blending card. And it kind of absorbs the markers a little bit more. It makes the blending a little bit more challenging because it's just so thick and it just sucks in the ink. So there's some really strong like pink undertones into the amethyst, at least in this photo. So I want to get those in there before I start placing in my purple, because I don't want my purple just to kind of overshadow everything. Right now I've got more of a kind of a grayish pink. Now I can really start getting in there with a little bit more purpley colors. And don't forget to leave, like, you know, little shines of light in the crystals themselves, you know, to kind of look like that reflecting. It's all about color play and light play. Remember, you can always go back and add more color to places if you need it later on, but it's really hard to pull the color out of these. And I don't want to go super dark with a lot of this because my dragon's going to be pretty dark. So I want to, you know, just kind of play that one out just a little bit. Just a little bit of dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pink again, and I'm just going to lay in some of these highlights. And again, I want this top wing to be the lightest because I want to bring it forward. And anything you add a little bit of light to is naturally going to be brought forward in the viewer's eye. And anything that's darker is going to be pushed back. So when you're contouring things, you want to push things back with a lot of shadow, and then use your light to just draw things out. Also, when you're using any kind of colored medium, remember that the white of your paper is part of your palette. Okay. I'm going to slowly begin to build in my shadows. I think I'm almost to my very first used up marker. It's still got some juice in it, but it is drying out, which isn't bad because I've used this color a lot. And I got these Copics back in November, so it's a lot of use. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some light under this wing because I want a little bit of light to look through it like it's coming through the wing. So this part I'm going to make a little bit more like a membrane and then work darker with that. I'm going to flick my markers up to kind of blend that so you can see if that's nicely blending there. And then if you need a little extra help, go back in with, you know, that color and blend along it. It's going to kind of blend those two colors in a little bit better. Again, you hear these just random whacking. That's just me trying to kill the random gnat that keeps flying around my face. How rude. Okay, so you're going to see right here, I added a different color to this leg because I want to define this leg from the stomach. So I added a little bit of a bluish purple to it, and I'm going to go back in and blend that out. A little bit of regular purple. And I'm going to darken that in with the darker purple. And then if you get that really strong line, just go back in there with a medium color in between that, blend it. And then because I want this back wing here to be really pushed back, I'm going to start off with even darker tones. So this is actually going to be one of my lightest tones. I'm going to really push this one back. So right now its lightest tones match the darkest tones towards the front of my dragon. Now I'm going to go in with my really dark purple that I used like right in here and add in some dark details. I'm going to put this in for the kind of the horns of my dragon. Still want to leave a little spot to kind of put a little bit of shine in there and blend them out just a little bit so they actually look a little three-dimensional. If you need some extra help with blending, use your colorless blender. It can help lighten some colors and blend a little bit better. So to add in some more shadows, I'm going to be pulling in some of my blues and my blue greens. So I'm going to pull in BG72, which is this one here. And I'm just going to start placing these as extra shadows. The reason I chose to give it a blue outline rather than like going in with a micron or something and giving it a black outline is because there's no black in this picture. So by taking and putting in a black outline, it's just going to be so harsh. You could go in with a sepia or a brown, but there's no brown in the picture. So by sticking with something that's in here already, like the blue, it kind of keeps it nice and soft. I think I'm gonna make this a part 2 because I feel this video is already super long. So I'm gonna talk about this background in my next video. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep painting and record it, and then I'll upload it in the next couple of videos, or maybe even today I'll just upload it as a secondary video, just because I think this is just way too long of a video. But yeah, so here is our dragon. Looks pretty cool. So if you want to see the second part of this where I do the background and I have a kind of fun thing I'm going to try, and then if it doesn't work I'm just going to go with a straight flat black background. But make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss that video. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload it the same day as this video, or if I'm going to wait a day, or if it's going to be in the next week or something like that, or I might ruin the whole thing and just cry. If that's the case, I will still upload the video where I destroy the picture. But yeah, you definitely don't want to miss that, so stay tuned. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me and drawing this cool dragon. And until next time, God bless you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye!